Hey guys, it's Susan, and today I'm going to teach you how to make metal jewelry using metal shears. So today I'm going to show you all how to make some metal jewelry using metal shears. We're going to do a necklace and earring set, and I've got the little necklace on similar to what we're going to do, but we're going to use some different stones, and we're going to make a pair of matching earrings. And really the only thing different about this today is we're going to be using metal shears to cut metal. And basically that means it's kind of like using scissors, metal scissors on our metal. We're going to cut out some shapes. So it's really exciting, and I think we'll have a great time. You are going to need some tools and supplies here. Of course, you're going to need your metal shears, number one. And this is my favorite pair. I love these. I don't know what it is about them, but they've got larger handles so I can fit my hands in here, and they cut the metal like butter. They're so great. You will need some basic tools. As always, I usually have my round nose, my chain nose, and my flat nose. And I'm going to have a flush cutter. And then we're going to be using a metal punch. This is a 1.25 metal punch. I also have a set of hammers. I've got my basic rawhide and my basic chasing hammer. It's going to have that ball peen on one side and the domed end on the other. And I also have a very important flat file. It's my metal file. I'm going to be using some steel wool along with that. And then I have a doming block to shape my metal, and also a bench block because I'm going to be doing some texturizing on my bench block. Oh, this is exciting. I have some stencils. Some of you guys may be great at freehanding shapes onto your metal, but I'm not, so I always buy stencils. And then finally, we're going to need some things to put everything together. Of course, we're going to use some metal. I like a 24 gauge metal sheet. This is just a bare copper metal sheet, and we're using some bare copper 24 gauge wire to go with it. And then I have already oxidized this. This is that 24 gauge wire oxidized. I've got 3 little guys here. These are Amazonite. And I also have just some little findings. I have a couple jump rings and some chain to make the necklace. So I think that's about it. You know, we have done other videos. I think we did one on the Aladdin theme with some metalworking. So if you guys want to get some more information about metalworking, you can check that one out. And if you love our videos, you can ring that bell so you can get notified every week to hear about our videos. Okay, so we're going to start with our 24 gauge copper sheet. And first thing I'm going to do is just draw a shape onto my metal. And of course you can also do squares and circles and triangles and things like that, but I like to use this stencil here. It's kind of a shield shape. All you have to do is just take a permanent marker and outline that shape onto the metal. Like so. So then you're going to take your metal shears, and when you're working with metal shears, they're not all created equal. I talked about a few things I like about this one, but one of the other things I didn't say was I like this one because it has a long jaw, and I find that the ones with the shorter jaw tend to snip closed really quickly and cause me to put little jagged edges on my metal, and I don't like that. So when you're working with this, you always want to work up in the really far up inside the jaw. You don't want to work down towards the tip of the shear. You want to work all the way up here. You'll just have more control over your piece. So what I'm going to do is, you can see I'm starting right there at the edge, and I am going to just start cutting right along the outside of that line. And see, I'm staying in way deep in the jaw of that shear. And never feel like you have to try to turn a corner with a shear. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off like so, and it'll make it a lot easier for me to turn this and go around that corner. All right, so we're just going to continue to cut. And you can see how easy this is. It really is just like cutting, a little bit like cutting paper, a little bit harder, but you can also see how I'm kind of turning the metal as I go so I get a nice curve. So there we go. There are our 3 shields, and I'm going to use this steel wool right now to get the permanent marker off of it. Mostly because I don't like getting it on my fingers. Okay, so there are our 3 shields, and you can see that these guys are a little bit rough around the edges. So you absolutely have got to file around these. Next, that is your next step, is you're going to take a flat file, and starting at the corner, you're just going to kind of smooth that down and then go all the way around the whole piece. And I don't want to make them too soft on the corners because I want that shield look, but you definitely don't want to have a rough edge. All right, so there's that one. See, you can already tell that's a lot smoother. And we'll get some of that taken down with the hammer as well. And you need to take your time doing this step, so I'm doing it pretty quickly, so mine are probably still gonna be just a little bit sharper than I want. But when you're doing this, especially if you're doing them to sell or wear yourself, then you want to take your time with this step. Okay, so I want to texturize my pieces. So you can see how this is texturized here. And I used a ball peen hammer to do that texture. So I'm gonna get my bench block and put my piece on there. And this is obviously a chasing hammer, but I'm using the ball peen side, that's this side right here, to texturize this piece. Of course, this isn't the only texture you can do. You can do whatever texture you want, but this is one of my favorites, and it's also one of the easiest that you can do. And if you go around the edge with the chasing hammer side, you will also help smooth out some of those edges. So I did that too. But now I'm gonna get rid of my bench block and I'm gonna pull over this guy right here. This is a dapping and doming block. And I'm gonna use that, if you can see this, how it's curved like that, and I actually used a different tool for this, but it's curved and I wanna do that on these pieces too. So I use this to dome it out. And so I'm gonna put that right there in the center. And you always wanna start with the biggest one. And then this is my punch. I'm just gonna pop it right in the center, and then I'm gonna use my rawhide mallet to dome this piece. See, that looks good. It just really makes it look a lot more professional too. I just want to show you the difference between those. Wow, right? So there are those three guys. Boom, boom, boom. And so then I want these two, because I think they match, to be the earrings, and this one can be my necklace. So for the necklace, I want to make kind of a Y necklace, and I'm actually wearing one right now, but I'll show it to you guys again in a second. It's actually punched on each corner. So here, here, and here. And then the earrings, I'm going to want to punch in the center and then down at the bottom. Now I will tell you guys that I'm pretty good at finding the center, but I'm going to cheat just a little bit and go ahead and mark where I want to punch it. All right, so then I'm just going to pop my punch right on those marks and punch through the metal. And it punches really easy with this punch. The bottom, here at the top. Okay, so that's for my earrings. Those feel good. And then for my necklace, I'm just gonna punch each corner. This is a great way to make a Y necklace. It's really cute. Accenting your necklaces like this just with a little piece of metal will make a huge difference in your piece. So there we go, there's all those pieces. And I'm just going to get out my liver of sulfur and I am going to oxidize this. All right, so this is liver of sulfur gel, and basically what you want to do copper is you just want to pour a little bit of it down in there, not a lot, like a 1/4 teaspoon down in there. And if I was filling this all the way up, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon. And then you just pour a little water in there. And for copper, you don't even have to worry about if it's warm or not. I'm just gonna drop this down in there and it's gonna turn black almost immediately. And I'm just gonna get a paper towel here so that I can pull it back out quickly. And this is just a copper tong. See how fast that was? That was really quick. So I'm just gonna clean that, dry that off so you can really see. And so I'll do my other two pieces. One of the things a lot of people ask me about liver of sulfur is, how long can I leave it in there? And I found that you really should not leave it in there too long. Really just long enough to get the patina you want, because what happens, and I don't know, I can't explain the chemical reaction, but after a while that something happens to the surface of the metal and it starts flaking off. Just leave it in there just long enough to get the patina you want. Now for me, this is a little bit too dark. I was looking for something more along the lines of this, where it's some dark and some light. So I'm gonna take my steel wool and I'm gonna take some of that off. And this is you can see my hands are already getting dirty. So my hands are gonna be a little bit dirty after I do this. So there's the back, and then I'm gonna go along the sides as well. And then we're gonna do the front. And last guy. This is my other earring. Okay, let's see if that looks even. Yeah, that looks good. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna get to assembling our jewelry here. I'm gonna start by doing the earrings. And I've already oxidized some 24 gauge copper wire, meaning I just stuck it in that liver of sulfur and got it dark just so it would blend with my pieces a little bit better. Now, what you're gonna do is pop this wire through. So I'm going to pinch my wire together up here at the top into a little V. And then I'm getting out my basic tools here. I'm going to grab the chain nose plier and just grab that right at that V. I'm going to take this little guy and finish this off by wrapping 2 times around. It doesn't really matter how neat it is because I'm going to cover that up in just a second. Just going to trim it off right there. And then I'm going to take my round nose plier and I'm going to make a little loop here at the top, just like so. And I'm going to go through that bottom loop on my first little shield that I made. Boom. And then I'm just going to grab that loop, use gravity. I always use gravity to get things out of my way. I'm going to use gravity to get that guy out of my way so that I can use this piece of wire and start wrapping down over the tip of this little briolet. And I'm making kind of what's just called a messy wrap. You just kind of want to watch what you're doing, make sure you like the way it looks. So I'm going to go all the way down, do a couple more wraps down here at the bottom, and then come back up and then fill in this area here and finish it off. You're just going to go to the back of your piece, trim off the extra wire, and press it in with your chain nose plier. So those 2 are ready for ear wires, and now all I have to do is make my necklace. So that's going to be one more wrap like that. I'll just go ahead and make my ear wires for you guys. This is a bonus. Every once in a while you guys get a bonus from me. I don't know if you know that, but I've shown you how to do this a billion times before. This is just a basic pair of earrings, ear wires, and I'm just using a 6-step bail shaping plier to make the ear wires. I'm just going to use the smallest bail shaping plier to make 2 loops at the same time, and then I'm going to turn it over and use the largest bail on the bail shaping plier to wrap both earrings together to make a set of matched ear wires, and trim off just like so. And then these are about ready to wear, and so I'm just going to pop that on and close it up like so, and then I'll go ahead and do the necklace piece. So this one doesn't have to match exactly because it's going to be a little bit farther away from the others. So we'll just go back through and same thing. And now to finish this guy off, what you're going to do is you're going to take a couple jump rings and some chain and pop all that together. So I'm just going to use my chain nose plier, and this is a real light jump ring, so I didn't have to use 2 pliers, and pop that through the end of my chain. Look at my poor fingers, they're just covered in liver of sulfur. Okay. I'm going to use my other plier now just to make sure I get a really tight close on my jump ring. So 1, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. There's that, and there are your matching earrings. So I hope you guys liked learning how to work with metal shears and cutting some metal to make some fun metal jewelry. And just don't forget, you need a few tools and supplies. Of course, you're going to need those metal shears, number one, and some 24 gauge metal sheet. And then to work with all that stuff, I used my basic tools, my round nose, my chain nose, and my flat nose pliers, as well as a flush cutter, and we introduced a hole punch today, so that was fun. I used some basic metalworking hammers, just a chasing hammer and a rawhide mallet, and I also used filing tools like steel wool and a flat file. For shaping and forming, I've used my doming block with the punch and also my bench block. I also used a little bit of liver of sulfur, and of course to put everything together I used my 24 gauge bare copper wire. And then for me, I really like to use stencils for my shapes, so if you're not a good freeform drawer like me, you might want to pick up some stencils so you can make some really cool shapes and some really fun, cool jewelry. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys would like to pick up some supplies like the ones we worked with today, check out the links down below. And let me know if you'd like to learn more about working with metal. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell, and we'll see you again next time.